wanted to ask President Bukele to help return the man who your administration says was mistakenly deported. The man who was mistakenly deported to El Salvador.
Okay, so this is our good friend, MS-13 terrorist Kilmar Armando Obrega Garcia. They're asking about him now. Mistakenly sent to El Salvador. Just to remind everybody, he was not mistakenly sent. One White House lawyer, a Democrat, obviously just there, an insurgent within the Trump White House, said it was an error that he was sent to El Salvador. Sending him to El Salvador was the correct and perfect place to send him. He'd had a final order of deportation in his pocket for 6 years, since 2019, and had been adjudicated an MS-13 in 2019. Now, at the time, that was just being a typical illegal criminal migrant. And a typical illegal criminal migrant can ask for the favor of withholding the deportation to a particular country. And he said, listen, I'd like not to be deported to my home nation of El Salvador. He's an El Salvadoran citizen, because there's a gang there, the 18th Street gang, that is very involved in my mother's pupusa business. And the 18th Street gang is all over it, and they're mean to my mother, and they're mean to me, so please don't send me back to El Salvador. And the court granted that, a withholding from deportation to El Salvador. But guess what? In February 2025, Secretary of State Marco Rubio designated MS-13 a terrorist organization. And that makes this guy, adjudicated an MS-13 terrorist 6 years prior, that makes him a terrorist. And terrorists don't get the benefit of a withholding of deportation from any particular country. The moment MS-13 was designated a terrorist, that withholding agreement was null and void. It simply does not apply to terrorists. There is no withholding. He can be sent anywhere, including El Salvador. And as it happens, El Salvador is not only his nation of citizenship, which is where you would normally deport someone, it also has this beautiful El Salvadoran prison resort for terrorists, CCOT. So, of course, as a terrorist from El Salvador, with no withholding from deportation agreement still in effect, he was sent to CCOT. It's the perfect place for him. It wasn't an error. There would be no other place on earth